Breaking from Allen Park, the Edge Room just got louder. I'm walking you through what shifted inside the building after the last two games. Why Detroit's front office has circled one explosive solution on the whiteboard, and how the cap, the draft chart, and the playoff calculus all line up. I'm going to map the on-field fit, the contract logic, the real price range, and the ripple effects for our pass rush rotation. Stay with me until the end. The headline lands only when every piece of the puzzle is on the table. Here's the promise. First, I'll show you the exact problem the Lions are trying to solve in money downs. Then I'll break down a target who turns pressure into finishes without breaking your coverage rules. I'll lay out the cap mechanics, the risk ledger, and the timeline between now and the deadline. Finally, I'll connect the dots on why the building believes this move changes January football in Detroit. No fluff, just football and decisions. Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report. I'm giving you the straight view from a fan who watches the tape twice and reads the cap sheet 3 times. If you want clarity without noise, you're in the right place. Hit that like, stick around, and let's get to work. Let's define the need with real football language. The Lions create stress. They haven't consistently cashed it in. You've seen it. Ian Hutchinson wins his side. The quarterback feels it, slides, and buys a beat. If the opposite edge doesn't arrive on time, the play lives. The back 7 has to plaster longer. The check down turns into 8 yards. 3rd and 7 becomes 4th and 1. The defense is sound. The finish isn't. That's been the difference between good Sundays and signature wins. This staff isn't guessing. They know where the leaks start. When Aaron Glenn brings pressure, he wants to heat the pocket without rewriting the back-end rules. That means edge rushers who close their arc, flatten, and finish without losing contain. It means a second closer who turns Hutchinson's hurry into a sack, not a scramble. We've cycled rotational answers. We've manufactured edges with games and stunts. The tape keeps saying the same thing. Add one more true problem on the outside, and the whole picture sharpens. That's why an AFC name has moved to the top of the board. He's long. He's twitchy. He can run the hoop and still convert speed to power. He wins with first step, but he doesn't die when late. He keeps working and splits doubles. Over the recent stretch, he piled up 18 pressures and a sack, and those weren't empty numbers. They flipped field position and drive temperature. He also comes with a medical file you read twice. That's the honest part of the conversation. More on that in a minute. Zoom out to timing. The deadline is close enough to feel real and far enough to keep prices honest. Brad Holmes is juggling 3 clocks. This season's pass rush ceiling, the second contract wave for the core, and the reality that windows don't stay open because you hope they do. You don't buy names at the deadline. You buy answers. And you only buy them if the price fits alongside the next contracts you need to sign. From a schematic view, the fit snaps in without ripping up the playbook. Picture 3rd and 8. Detroit shows a 4-man front. Mug look with a linebacker threatening, then bails late. Hutchinson goes long-armed to widen the tackle. From the opposite hash, the newcomer threatens high, then counters inside when the guard overcommits to the slide. The quarterback can't climb because the interior is held firm, can't bounce because contain is disciplined, and he's cooked. You don't need exotic pressure to get home. You need 2 closers who make protection choices lose either way. Early downs matter too. This isn't just a NASCAR package for 3rd and long. Against wide zone, you set a strong edge so the ball cuts back into help. Against gap, you squeeze and spill. With the right addition, the Lions can stay too high more often, keep the explosives capped, and still win the line of scrimmage. That filters straight to complementary football shorter fields for Jared Goff. Fewer hero drives, cleaner scripts. Let's do the money. This isn't a blockbuster for a top 5 cap hit. It's a swing at a premium position where the market pays for sacks, not almost sacks. The target is on a manageable deal right now, with the option of control into 2026 if you want it. Translation: you can rent and test the fit. Then decide on the big number when the rest of your core is squared away. That flexibility is the whole ball game under the new CBA constraints. You don't want to lock yourself into guarantees while you're lining up extensions for the homegrown stars. Now the risk ledger. Medical is part 1. Edge rushers who rely on bursts live on healthy lower halves. Achilles, hamstring histories, these are not footnotes. You bake that into the price. Part 2 is variance. Pass rush is streaky. You might trade for the guy and catch a heater, or you might get a quiet month because offenses choose to chip your edges and throw hot. That's not failure. That's defensive economics. Part 3 is opportunity costs. Every pick you send is a player you don't draft, or a future move you can't make. That's why the number has to make sense, not just feel exciting. Before I pull the curtain back, let me paint what a balanced room looks like if this happens. Aiden Hutchinson still owns the alpha snaps and sets the tone. The newcomer takes the opposite edge and gives you hurry-to-sack conversion you can trust. Al-Qaeda Muhammad and Marcus Davenport become exactly what you want them to be. Force multipliers who crush second tackles and punish protections that cheat to the stars. The interior rotates fresh and violent. The whole group stays under 65% usage, so the fourth quarter looks like the first. All right, the moment. The Lions have turned their interest into action. Detroit has opened the channel on Yellen Phillips and is actively working the range of outcomes with Miami. This is not fan fiction. It's real dialogue. The framework on the table keeps the premium picks intact, leverages future mid-round capital, and offers Miami value without gutting Detroit's depth. The staff believes the football fit is clean. The front office believes the contract math is doable. The medical sign-off will be the final gate. Let's talk price so we all keep our feet on the ground. This isn't a mortgage to farm play. Think in terms of a mid-rounder that rises with playing time in production, or a pair of picks with protection triggers. Maybe there's a player-for-player layer that helps the Dolphins now while preserving our rotation. The point isn't to win headlines. It's to win downs in January. If the tag on the file inflates because a rival gets desperate, you walk. Discipline is how you stay good for years, not weeks. From the Dolphins' angle, the logic is clear. They get flexibility, draft inventory, and a chance to pivot if they're resetting their rush room. From ours, the logic is cleaner. You don't ask the back end to hold forever, and you don't ask Aiden Hutchinson to be two people. You line up with two hunters and make offensive coordinators choose which problem they want to have. On field, I see 3 immediate changes. First, the third down menu opens. You can rush 4 and still live in plus situations. That keeps your coverage simple and your players fast. Second, the 2-minute drill flips. With 2 edges who win, quarterbacks hate the clock because every throw invites a hit. Third, the run fits Titan. Phillips is not just a highlight chaser. He plays with length and leverage, and that kills the cheap 5-yarders that keep drives alive. Let me address the elephant in the room. Health. You don't erase an injury history because you like a player. You mitigate it. You manage practice loads. You build a rotation that keeps his pitch count sane. You install contingency snaps that don't fall apart if he misses a week. That's where coaching and roster building shake hands. If Detroit does this, it's because they've already built the plan around durability, not just upside. Now I want to hear from you. And I'm asking before the close because the best ideas in this community come from the comments. What's your line? Would you move a 2026-6 that escalates to a 4th on snap count and sacks? Would you include a depth player to keep the pick lower? Would you rather swing bigger 2 picks and lock him down long term? Or would you stick to a pure rental and reassess in March? Drop your package, your risk level, and your red lines below. I'm reading, I'm pinning, and I'll feature the sharpest plan in the next breakdown. Here's my professional read after living with this tape. Yellen Phillips in Detroit makes football sense. He is the exact style of closer who turns solid defensive series into dead possessions. The cap window can handle a disciplined acquisition. The risk is real but manageable if the price reflects it. If the medical's clear and the number stays rational, I pull the trigger. You don't get many shots to change what 3rd and 8 feels like. This one does. I'll close fast and clean. The headline is simple. Detroit has engaged on Yellen Phillips because he fits the scheme, the timeline, and the price, if the last box is checked. If you value straight talk, smart film, and updates that treat you like a stakeholder in this team, subscribe, turn on the alerts, and share this with the one friend who texts you every time a pass rusher hits the market. I'll be in the comments tonight, and when this story moves an inch, you'll get it here first.